Way back in Chapter 1, Season 9, you will remember at the very start of the season, as Peely and Jones were running into the bunker, fleeing the volcano, eventually it got to the point where Jonesy had to consume Peely in smoothie form in order to survive the amount of time that he was in that bunker. Of course, when he got out, Needle Tilted had been built and everything was futuristic. Something you guys may or may not recall about so-called Bunker Jonesy that season is that he basically constructed a giant image while he was trapped in that bunker. That image turned out to be the Fortnite image, which basically portrayed a lot of things that would happen not only in that season, but in the future. The reason I bring this up is because last season, the whole reason that Peely ended up saving us during that event was because he had a vision while he himself, a banana, drank a smoothie. Shout out to Oxic4 on Reddit for catching this, but you can see in Season 2, Peely had a vision after he drank a smoothie, and then he suddenly wanted to learn how to drive. So what if the vision showed him the future, and when the mech got nearly destroyed by IO rockets, and that's why Peely knew what he had to do to save us. It's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if this specific smoothie that Peely had was made of bananas. Is he a cannibal? I mean, I guess that's left up to be seen still, but nonetheless, this is the second time that somebody has had a vision as it relates to the storyline after drinking a smoothie. Considering we know that Peely ended up being the smoothie the first time around, and now Peely is the recipient of the vision through a smoothie, I do not think it's a coincidence. If only Peely could talk, because I bet that little banana brain has a ton of secrets to tell and he just can't figure out how to say it. I'm pretty positive after the positive fan reaction to seeing Peely in the live event last time, there's gonna be some more Peely moments coming up. And just remember, if you see a banana smoothie lying around in Fortnite, please tell me where it is, because I would really like to drink it. I would really like to have a vision. I would like to know all this stuff. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll know there's a lot of talk about the reality tree roots reincarnating or reviving in some way the Devourer, whose skull is on the map still to this very day. I was researching the topic a little bit more and I saw this post on Reddit by Cemento, who adds something else, and honestly, I didn't even know this. But anyway, this goes on and says, my theory is that the roots will spread to the Devourer's remains because it has been shown that it can actually bring back old POIs and landmarks, the Dusty Depot warehouse, for example. So yeah, if you didn't know, there is one Dusty Depot warehouse back, not multiple, but one, in the southwestern corner of the map. This, of course, is the area of the map heavily infested and taken over by the reality tree. This also isn't the first time Dusty Depot, one of the most fan-beloved POIs, has made somewhat of a return, kind of like the smoothie thing. If the reality tree is capable of bringing back Dusty Depot, then it's certainly capable of bringing back the Caddis in some way, and I truly do believe that is on the map for a reason, and at some point, to some extent, we're going to get the Caddis to return. Sermonto adds, I forgot to add this, but the 0 point may get screwed over worse than it did in Chapter 1, since the mech was heavily damaged during the collision event and may not be fully prepared and repaired in time for an event like this should it occur again. That's a really, really good point. At the end of last season's event, everyone thought that the Imagined Order, being the main enemy at the time, being defeated means that there would be peace on the island, and at least for now, there is to a certain extent, but it seems like something really big is brewing and might be something even more dangerous potentially than last season coming for us. And if that's the case and the mech gets called back up, I just don't think it's going to be anywhere close to being ready, because it took every ounce of everything Paradigm had at the end of last season's event to even get the mech to raise its arm to go down and hit Sloane's tank. That mech is going to be out of commission for a long time. Caramel Junkie says this is a stretch, but maybe the 7 try to disconnect the tree from the 0 point, and that's when the Syndicate fight against them, as they have been tricked into believing that the reality tree is doing good. I do think that at some point the 7 are going to try to disconnect the 0 point from the reality tree. That's a pretty strong opinion that I have at this point through the season, and when that happens, I have no doubt in my mind that the Peace Syndicate are going to go after them and do everything they can to interfere, to get in the way, to misconstrue whatever they're doing. We don't know a lot about the Peace Syndicate. They're very mysterious. They're a new faction that's popped up this season, and truly I'm looking forward to learning a lot more and as much as I can about this alleged villainous group we're gonna have to deal with. OVO says, I think the Bloom Watcher may not be the embodiment of the 0 point, but yet a form of servant created to do its bidding. I also think the Bloom Watchers are another faction or possibly another race that may have even been a part of the last reality. I've seen a fair number of people in recent days talking about how the Bloom Watcher and the reality tree and all that stuff could be a part of the last reality for a number of reasons. Number one, reality is literally a part of both of their names, and also the areas that are currently being affected the most by the reality tree in the game right now tend to have purple areas of grass and purple spots all over, of course, purple being the main color of the last reality that we saw last in Chapter 2, Season 8. If the Cube Queen was still stuck on the other side of the island, the Chapter 2 map, and she was slowly but surely making her way up through the middle of the map to get to us, maybe the purple sign is a grass that she's drawing closer and closer by the day? Is it possible that the Bloom Watchers are servants of the Cube Queen? And now with the imagined order out of the picture, it would be easy and clear for her to swoop in and to have a free shot at the exposed, liberated 0 point. Again, I know people are gonna say, oh, the Cube Queen teleported away at the end of the event in Chapter 2, Season 8, this, that, or the other, and who knows really what the truth is. However, it is my belief that she is still alive based on the fact that she ended up touching the water before anything teleported away, among a few other reasons. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you're new and like the video as well. I would really appreciate it. Please click on to the next video to keep the party rolling, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.